A lot of people are advocating for having these affirmations in the morning, having a routine that helps us set the mood of the day. I advocate for these affirmations as well. However, I don't think it's enough to say to ourselves that you are loved. I don't think it's enough to say to ourselves that you are a phenomenal human being. I think the necessary component that people are missing oftentimes is the actual action that allows us to believe that these things are genuinely true about ourselves. Right? So if your affirmation is that you are loved, how can you receive love without giving it? If your affirmation is that you are important, that you matter, how can you believe that you matter? How can the people around you believe that you matter and are important if you're not genuinely trying to positively contribute to their lives? So in the mornings, and by the way, my name's Tarab. I make videos about emotional intelligence every day. My mission is to give people the tools to build their own and hopefully gain wealth, success, and power in their life through these lessons. The morning affirmations that I do often start with being grateful. And a man told me a long time ago that whenever you take a shower, at least a couple times a week, get out of the shower clean and be grateful. Be grateful for your heart, your body. Be grateful for the circumstances, the people in your life, your vision, direction, creativity. Being grateful for these things in the morning, to me, at least reminds me when I kind of wake up from the void of sleep, at least reminds me that I am building something, that I am in a process here, not kind of like in a wayward soul in the ether, but really someone that's charting a course. And the beautiful thing about gratitude first, in my opinion, is that it also reinforces what's actually important in your life. It reinforces the things that you genuinely value. And the value system that we have should necessarily guide our actions every single day. Because if that value system is not strong, if we don't understand those values about ourselves, then we often don't know what to invite and what to not allow into our lives. Whether it be time, people, stimulus, whatever it is, the aspirations in the morning should be guided by our gratitude and our values. So, usually after that, if I'm having a particularly aware morning, I will go and look myself in the mirror and tell myself that I love myself. Now, that is the affirmation that most people are doing in the morning. Having positive stimulus around you, having positive stimulus in your environment is incredibly beneficial for us. It's literally like, I would say, a third of the equation in terms of doing the things that you want to do in your life. Like if your environment, if the posters on your walls, if the little toys you have, the teddy bears, the colors around you aren't things that are part of your value system, then it's going to be very difficult to completely solidify that value. I have a philosophy that every human being has a purpose in life, genuine purpose that is unique to themselves and only they can accomplish in the world and in themselves. But this purpose is kind of amorphous. When we are youngest, but below the age of 7, I believe this purpose is fairly strong. I believe that we naturally go towards this purpose because our values are kind of something that we feel and we're going towards, and we're doing the things that we feel are really good for us. Very important. As we grow older and get conditioned by our environment, by people around us, this actual purpose, which we didn't have the words necessarily, the philosophy, the concepts, the context to understand, this purpose then expands to start taking in kind of the environment, the stimulus that we go through. And sooner or later, when many of us are in our 20s, we begin to realize how far this has expanded, how large this amorphous blob has grown, and how not certain we are about our purpose in general. And I think then, as soon as we start to realize these types of things, then becomes uh, propos, the process of actually distilling this again and actually having it honed in again, closer and closer to what it was when we were our child selves. Now, this requires a lot of action. This requires a lot of affirmation. And this requires, hopefully, a good, healthy philosophy about life. Because the process can be incredibly daunting, right? Like, what part of ourselves do we approach first? What are the actions that we have to take to do that? I mean, I could pose 1,000 questions about this stuff, but I'm hoping that you feel what I'm talking about. I'm hoping that you have to some degree in your life felt this kind of amorphous purpose, or if you're further along than other people, then you know that it still needs to be distilled. That still the ideas still need to be more concrete so that they're more reliable for you. But I think these morning affirmations are a big, big part of people trying to get closer and closer to that distilled purpose in life. And it's a beautiful thing that's happening in society. I absolutely love the fact that people are going out of their ways to compliment themselves and be kind to themselves. I think it's incredibly good for human relationships and communities in general. Incredible, incredible. I will put the caveat, as I did before, that the action needs to be taken, my friend. Their action really just, it needs to be taken. Because without that, there's no substance to our words, to our thoughts, right? Like we're no different than someone that's just saying random things because we have no data to rely on. And the data really, it should come from in here. The data really should come from our heart, our soul, like our individual pursuit. Because we can look at other people, we can look at one-off things, sure, but if they've worked for someone else and not in our lives, the data is only so useful. It's only so relevant. So hopefully this goes to assuage your morning routine to, and I mean I have to believe it because it's science, but well I don't have to, but I do believe it. And the reality is, if you don't have a morning routine, if you don't have something that you consistently do that like grounds you, that makes you feel better about life, I would really recommend checking that out. I would really recommend going and looking up some things that you feel would be good for you. That variability is because we're so unique and so powerful in our own right that we need something that we wake up into our world of action, that we need something that sets it all into motion. It's almost the why behind the day, the thing that we do right in the morning. So it's very, very important to get that figured out, to do it in a way that is sustainable. I have a tendency in life to get kind of, I have a lot of things going on in the day, and I'm sure speaking to some of you, you have way more going on than I do. Cheers. Daunting to put things together, like the routine for the day. And this is something that I've been working on too, but it's kind of like the setup. It's kind of like if you ever played a sport, having someone that assists you in getting to your goal is essential. You can't do it alone. You'll just get blocked out. And life's kind of like that. Our stimulus, the things that we do, they can block out our goals. They can block our aspirations. And to set ourselves up for the morning, I believe we definitely need to start writing things down the night before. So our list of actual tangible goals, actual tangible actions that we want to take, going one step further from everything that I've said, writing those down the night before actually gives you more space in the morning to affirm yourself. And it's something I've been working on. It's difficult to do sometimes when you go to bed late, but I'm telling you, that 5 extra minutes, that 3 extra minutes, right before you're about to really close your eyes and go to bed, even if you're just sitting there thinking to yourself, my goodness, I didn't write my list of things that I'm going to do tomorrow. Just scribble them down, just real quick. Just have a thought, just do it. Because the reality is it's not a screen, so it's not necessarily going to keep you up all that much longer. And the setup, the volley for yourself in the morning, my goodness, it's incredible. And don't write down like only things that are difficult to do, only things that you're not looking forward to do. Don't write those things down. Well, write them down, but don't only write those things down. Write down things that are fun for you to do. Write down things that you're excited, like little beautiful things that you want to do. Really, write those down. Those in themselves are an affirmation. To say that you're alive and that you love yourself. And that you believe it's necessary for you to do in a day. It's incredibly important to have this kind of system, this cyclical system of affirming, not just in the morning, but hopefully in the morning and the night. In a way that we wake up feeling great and we go to sleep feeling great. And in everything in between, we can deal with it. Because we know the bookends are incredible, right? There's a lot of power in writing words down. There's a lot of power in distilling our thoughts on paper, on some sort of, I would recommend paper, because screens are going to keep you up. There's like a bunch of studies coming out that electromagnetic waves or radiation and stuff is like really bad for us from our phones. So paper, OG classic, it'll help, I promise. So affirm yourself, keep believing in yourself, and establish these routines. Really take the time to establish these routines, and your value system will strengthen and your purpose will become way more distilled over time. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Also, if you have a second, check out this video right here. One that I made a while ago about morning affirmations, actually. And it's been augmented a little bit, which I'm excited about, because I'm learning. Anyway, take care.